Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming, for being here, for watching this video. It's Seed and Soil. It's the Taurus New Moon. And I just want to take a moment and thank everyone for their support. Evangeline, Gabrielle, Kim, China, Christy, Amy, Cynthia, Glennie, Julia, Cheryl, Laura, Drew, Astrid. Thank you all for being in this community. I hope that this is going to inspire you, to help you heal and help you move into the next stage of your identity and your life. I wanted to let you know that I'm creating a new mini course that is going to share with you the process that I'm developing for using astrology for reconstructing your identity. I'm really excited about it and I've been working really hard on it. It's just not quite ready yet. So stick with me and you'll be the first to hear about it when it does launch. So I'll be popping into Seed and Soil periodically as well. I wanted to let you know. Just to give quick lives, whether or not anybody's on there, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to jump on, say hi, share a couple thoughts. If you're on there, jump on. You can ask me questions. We can have a conversation. It's going to be a lot of fun. So get active in this community. It's yours. It's for you. And this community is such a great way to support your growth and the changes that you're going through and to know that you're not alone in it. And it really helps to have community around change. Nobody levels up alone, is what I like to say. So let's make this community our own. I want to tell you what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about this Taurus new moon. We're going to do a grounding. You'll hear a story or a demonstration about how your brain works to protect you. And so awareness helps us be able to know what's happening. So we're not just running on autopilot all the time. Awareness is going to help us be able to see ourselves from the outside in, and that way we'll be able to affect change as opposed to just grinding away and grinding away. Okay, so then we'll explore your seed that you want to plant for this new moon, and we'll do a journaling exercise, and we'll talk about how to tend it. Okay, so it's time to explore this new moon. Taurus within the development cycle that I'm coming up with for this mini course, Taurus coincides with the ages of, along with Aries, of 0 to 7, the ages of 0 to 7. When you're a little sponge and you're just absorbing everything, it becomes part of your subconscious. So when we talk about rewiring identity, we talk about rewiring and becoming something or someone, showing up differently in the world with different experiences, experiencing synchronicity. That is dealing directly with the subconscious mind. So it takes a few things in order to do that. It takes repetition, it takes consciousness, so the observer consciousness, and it also takes, get this, programming yourself before you go to bed and first thing when you wake up in the morning. If you want more information about that, I have a couple of videos about that in my Instagram. So be sure and check there if you want more direct guidance on that. You can also put your questions in the chat here. Okay, Taurus is about resources, sensuality, physical touch, taste, hearing, anything that has to do with your body's 5 senses, and your values, specifically your self-worth. A positive and expansive sense of self-worth will allow greater tolerance for growth as we move through the astrological new year. So this part of the growth cycle is incredibly, incredibly fundamental. I can't stress it enough. Taurus is where you grow your limitations and where you get your tolerance for growth. So this new moon is conjunct Mercury, and Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, which is the sign that we're going into tomorrow. The sun goes into Gemini tomorrow, so we're at the very end of Taurus season. But back to Taurus. When we talk about your resources, right, we're talking about, again, your mental, emotional, and physical resources. When you're low on those resources, it puts you in survival mode. And survival mode is meant as an alternative to certain death. That's what it's good for. It's not a life strategy. Most of us live probably, I don't know, 75% of the time in survival mode. And then we go from survival mode to escapism, survival mode to escapism. So we're going to look at that cycle later on as we get into the astrological new year. But at this point, I just want you to be aware of it, that it happens. That survival mode drains all of our most precious internal resources. So, we're going to talk about how to breathe, return to your body, and watch as the vectors of possibility begin to open. Follow your bliss, and doors will open where previously there were no doors, and where there wouldn't be a door for anyone else. That's Joseph Campbell. What he's talking about is when you start to live through your essence, your identity that's connected to your higher self and more connected to the essence of what's in your birth chart, you start to fall into synchronicity. Joseph Campbell isn't the only one that talks about this. Carl Jung talked about it extensively too. What this new moon can do for you, setting intentions with this new moon and being really serious about these inner resources and your own self-worth, this is setting the stage and the foundation for the rest of your development of this new identity. It's essential. And don't get me wrong, once we go into Gemini season, then Cancer, then Leo, we're going to go all the way around through the course of this new year. And we're going to be revisiting Aries and Taurus and Gemini as we go. These are the foundations. So we might, get up higher in the tower in Leo and be like, oh, something feels a little shaky. Maybe we need to go revisit our self-worth. Maybe we need to go revisit what we're telling ourselves, how we're communicating with other people. So this is all part of building the foundation. We don't graduate from Taurus once it's Gemini. We take Taurus with us into Gemini season. And every new sign that we go into is a pressure test for the one before. Okay, so let's start with grounding. This is an essential tool, and this is how you're tending your Taurus seed. This is a meditation, but it's a grounding. So we're made of stars. One of my favorite statements, of course, as an astrologer. We're also made of the earth. We're also made of the ether, right? So what this meditation does is it connects us as the thing in between the earth and sky. It connects us to both of them. And it reminds us that we're part of a much larger web. We don't have to be like Sisyphus and push the boulder uphill, this endless pushing that leads to burnout, which is a newer phrase. Sisyphus didn't know about burnout, but that's pretty much what was going on. So how do we recenter? Well, one of these ways is by grounding and running your energy. This is calling your energy back to yourself, and it's a reset. Once you get really good at this, you're going to be able to do it in seconds. So let's start. If you can, find a comfortable seat. If you can put your feet flat on the ground, that's great. If you're sitting directly on the ground, that's great. Just take a moment and arrive where you are. Bring your whole self. Bring your anxiety, bring your tiredness, bring your confusion, bring your pain, bring it all. And sit with it for a second. Maybe your joy, sit with that too. Just breathe with your eyes closed. I want you to focus on making your breath a little deeper. Feel the air moving in and out of your nostrils. And now what I want you to do, because we started with the awareness of the confusion, the hurt, the frustration, the anxiety, I want you to think of all of those things that are pulling your energy away from your essence, from your core, and call that energy back to you. Literally, in your mind, put little tendrils out and just pull that energy back to you. Is someone taking your energy because they're taking a lot of your emotional self? They're taking a lot of your thoughts. Call it back. Call it back to you. Bring your whole self here. Right now, sitting here, there's nothing to fix, no problems. You're just starting to settle into yourself. Calling back your energy means giving those problems to your higher self. Feel the space around you starting to expand. Call yourself back from other events and times. Start to feel yourself calm and relaxed. Do a quick body scan. Start at the top of your head. Are you holding tension in your jaw? Are you holding tension in your shoulders? Let them sink down. What about your chest, your back, your legs, your hips, your feet? Nothing needs to be forced. When you breathe in, breathe into your cells. Imagine them vibrating and expanding, filling up and getting juicy. Now take a moment to notice your root chakra at the base of your spine. Maybe you'll notice a vibration anchoring you down, down, all the way to the center of the earth. Breathe. It's a cord. Imagine that energy cord is as wide as your body. You can picture a root or water or light. Notice any sensation in that root chakra. And fill yourself up with this energy flow up into your root chakra, and picture that chakra like a cup getting full from this energy. And when that energy is full, then picture it flowing back down into the ground. Start feeling energy pulsing in your hands, in your feet, in your heart. Staying relaxed. Now, if you still have residual pain, confusion, and fears, send them down that cord, down, down into the earth. Let the earth take it. You won't hurt the earth. The earth breaks down old energy and it brings it back to life. Give yourself permission to release whatever you're holding on to. Keep noticing what shows up and send it down the cord. Notice the space around you and ground the whole room. Make that cord as wide as the whole room and ground the whole space that you're in. Give yourself room to breathe in this space. Be present behind your eyes. Be grateful for your body. Your body does a lot for you. It takes a lot of abuse. What a beautiful system that you have. It's still here. It's still working for you. It's still trying to do what's best for you. Now, imagine energy coming in the top of your head, like a light just pouring down like a waterfall over you. That feels good, right? Yeah. Just a calming sensation, just washing everything away. Feel your heart expanding. All right, take a couple more deep breaths. One more. And slowly let your eyes open. Welcome back. Okay, so you can do this exercise anytime and you can do it really fast. You don't have to take the amount of time that we took just now, but every once in a while it's nice to do that, maybe before bed, and you can add just filling yourself with self-worth, your intentions for this new moon. We'll get to those in a moment, your seed. It's this new moon conjunct Mercury. It's your perception, your thoughts, how you communicate. Sextile Jupiter in Cancer, which is big feeling and opportunities and communication and transforming and really getting into your emotional space through your communication. Now, it's important to note that there are 3 levels of communication. Taurus is really concerned with one of them, which is self to self. How do you talk to and think about yourself? So that's going to be what we're focusing on for planting your seed for Taurus. There's also self to others, that's Gemini, and self to other, higher self, God, your relationship to spirit, and that's more Scorpio, Pisces energy. So Mercury enters Gemini the very next day. Also, it's also entering Gemini with the Sun. This is the last chance to get rooted before everything is, or a lot of energy is meeting the sign of communication and outward energy. So plant now and revisit the themes of Aries and Taurus as your journey around the zodiac unearths new information that you need to integrate as it has to do with your identity, Aries, your sense of security, values, and self-worth, Taurus. Gemini rules the nervous system, so this is an important respite to get aligned before we move into that mental realm and start the pressure test of what you've put into place in Aries and Taurus. So you take that self-talk and now you're going to start talking to other people. And what you start to get is a reflection of yourself through that. Some things to watch out for with Taurus energy is stubbornness, disinterest or disengagement, overindulgence as a rebellion to inner security. This is a classic Taurus response to being too focused on outer security and safety while skipping the inner work. So it's like patting yourself around pillows all the time and going about life when your inner world is chaos and there are things crashing into each other on the inside. And so it's about calming yourself, getting back in your body, doing something that is sensual, even food, but being aware of when you eat. God, are you like me? I get on my phone while I'm eating. This is such a bad habit. I do it all the time. Okay. So, really sensualize the act of eating. It's so sensual. It's really quite enjoyable. I mean, we're really missing out by checking out and being on our phones when we're eating. So that's something to practice during Taurus season. So let's go into the journaling. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen handy, I really encourage you to physically write this down. That gives a better brain-body connection. It wires in your brain differently than typing. So I want you to think about one, where do you contract in your life and why? Because the why is probably connected to your values. And I want to be clear that sometimes good values have not so great expressions. So, say one of your higher values is peace or equality, but you end up being the person that is always creating the peace or equality by being a martyr. Number two, what do you want that feels out of reach and why? Why does it feel out of reach? Well, maybe why do you want it too, but really, why does it feel out of reach? And number three, the thing that you want, does it feel unsafe and why? I want you to pause the video right now and just take a moment to journal. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how our system can limit us when it comes to our values and our beliefs. So pause the video, do your journaling, and come back. Are you back? Okay, great. Okay, let's do this. All right, so you did your journaling. And so what I want to talk to you about. So those of you who know me, who have watched my videos on Instagram, you probably know that I'm a pilot. And I want to talk to you about something called the flight envelope. Every aircraft has one. And the flight envelope it's actually a graph on a piece of paper, but what that graph represents is the limitations of that aircraft, the physical limitations. If you go outside that flight envelope, the aircraft is going to break apart. So as human beings, we also have a flight envelope. That is represented by your birth chart, the things that you're good at, where your limitations are. So it's basically telling you what kind of aircraft you're flying and what it's capable of. So are you flying an F-16? Are you flying a Piper Cub? What capabilities do you have? Now, 99% of the time, pilots will only fly in a very small, minuscule part of that flight envelope. Nothing wrong with that. That's just the habitual, typical type of flights that people do. It doesn't require you getting anywhere near the edges of that envelope. So then we get comfortable with this much smaller envelope than we're capable of. And then what happens is when we come across a situation as a pilot, like weather, maybe a really strong crosswind, or needing to perform some kind of maneuver that we're not used to performing, or maybe we have a flight emergency, getting outside of our new flight envelope that we've developed that we're used to can cause a crash simply because the nervous system of the pilot's practiced envelope does not tolerate the envelope, the more expansive flight envelope of the aircraft itself. What I'm saying is that we create our own limitations based on our habitual patterns. And those new patterns become a much smaller envelope than that which we're actually here to experience in our lives. How can we start to push up against our habitual envelope so that we can actually experience the much broader, more expansive, more tolerant, more exciting flight envelope of our lives? Part of it is by slowly pushing up against those edges, right? Practicing, doing different procedures, going out in weather that's like just outside of our capabilities, maybe taking an instructor with us, different things that we can do to expand into that flight envelope that we're actually capable of. So, I want you to think about that with the journaling that you just did and to know that you are capable of so much more than what you're expressing right now. And I am here to see that full flight envelope for you and to support your growth into it. And what that does is that allows life's stressors, the things that happen that are outside of your daily experience, they don't scare you so much. You've grown your flight envelope. Your level of self worth, your trust in the universe or God is bigger and stronger, and you don't feel like you have to do it all yourself. You're not having to force it all. Um, also have, most aircraft have what's called positive stability, which means that if you just kind of let the controls go, the aircraft will stabilize on its own. As new students, everybody's trying to over control everything. So you hit a bump and it's like, oh, we gotta level the wings, level the wings. But really, this gentle touch and just observing what's happening can bring the aircraft back into balance without having to do a whole lot. So, how can you do more with less? Not so much control, not so much trying to assume what's going to happen or plan for what's going to happen. They say worry is living in the past and anxiety is living in the future. How can you be right now, feel what's happening, and not have to just react all the time? Calming the nervous system. So, yay. Okay. So, and how does this expansion? So, just add one little note. How can this expansion support your authentic identity? So we're exploring, like, do we know what that is? Are we towing the line on that? Because a lot of people say, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know who I'm supposed to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. We are just trying to get by a lot of the time, but your inner self knows. And if you start being aware of yourself, Mercury can help us do that. Gemini can help us do that. Taurus, being in our body, can help us do that. So having this awareness of ourselves, we start to receive more. And that's what we're going for here. So I want you to write one sentence. This is your seed. This is your seed. I want you to write one sentence. Who are you? Who are you? And I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm a nurse in the ER. I am the daughter of so and so. I am the mother. I am no. This is like the bigger you. I am a person who. I want this to include what you think your gift is, or at least include something having to do with what you think your superpower is, your gift. Okay, because your self worth is highly connected to your gift. Taurus is the builder. Taurus is the one who knows. One of the archetypes of Taurus is the farmer, just the simple knowledge. Yeah, there's floods happen, like animals die, we got to go repair fences. It's all part of life. It's not a tragedy all the time. Okay, so thank you for being here. I want you to ground when you feel activated. Every morning, imagine yourself as the version of you who has the self worth to have what you know you need in life. You already have it. You already have it. It's in here. It's just not out there quite yet. It's not being reflected back to you, but it will. It will. So it's a matter of holding your energy steady enough. There's an analogy of I don't know if you've heard this for manifesting about placing orders, like you're placing an order. So every time you have a thought or you take an action, you're placing an order in a restaurant, right? But every time you do an action that contradicts that order, the cook is getting a new order and they start making the new order and then they're like, no, 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 wait. They changed their mind. They're going to get this. So they have to throw that in the trash and start over. And it's like, you have to be patient. You have to hold the energy long enough for the order to be delivered and it won't look like anything is happening. But what do you do when you're waiting for your food in a restaurant? You converse. You converse with the people that you came with, you enjoy. Maybe you're sipping on some wine or water or appetizer. You're eating and enjoying, right? You're just doing life and you're holding in your mind that really good meal that you ordered that you're just about to enjoy. You're not obsessing over it. You're not like, oh my God, where's the food? Where's the food? You're just, it's coming. And that's the kind of energy that you want to hold with this Taurus energy. We're not worrying. We know it's coming. You have a sense of worth, so you know that you deserve it, and you do deserve it. It's just a matter of convincing your mind and your body. Okay. So if you'd like to go deeper with me one-on-one, I just want to let you know I have 30-minute mini readings for $75. The link is in my Instagram, my Linktree, my website. The reason that I do that is because sometimes a full reading is just a lot to absorb. So if you're like wanting to know like just the next step, like let's get some clarity on what's going on right now, these 30-minute readings are just enough. It's enough for you to get to the point and absorb what you need and move forward. So look for that. If you have questions about it, you can always chat with me in the community. Remember that Seed and Soil is a community that you shape by being active in it. I'm here to answer questions, and you all can support each other here too by commenting and being involved. It's for you. Make it yours. All right, so the next new moon is going to be Gemini, June 14th. I'll be releasing a new video then. Remember that there's also the playlist. I really love the Taurus playlist, and I'm going to be releasing the Gemini playlist soon as well because I want you to have it for the entirety of Gemini season because the new moons are at the end of the season for each sign. I feel like you're kind of missing out by getting it at the very end. So check out the playlist. There's also a PDF to help you with your tending. And I just want to thank you so much for being here. We're growing something really special here. I can feel it. I hope you can too. I'm going to have a lot of really great things for you coming, and my intent is to over deliver. So I hope you're impressed, surprised, and awed and inspired by what this community brings. Thank you again. Please comment in the chat, and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care.